Welcome to Furious Recaps. In today's video, we will be going through the 2017 comedy crime movie Hot Summer Night. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. Daniel is sitting in his room meditating to the sound of the radio, but his peaceful surroundings are soon shattered when his mother comes barging through the door. She asks him if he would like to go with her to visit his father's grave. He remains unresponsive, but quickly gets annoyed when she nags him about wasting his summer away. Informing him that it's not easy for her either, she pleads with him to accompany her. The narrating boy explains that Daniel's father was a well-liked man, and losing him affected his mental health severely. So much so that not only did he quit his part-time job as a paperboy, but he also burned all the records of his father ever gifted him, which the school psychologist refers to as a cry for help. Guilt-tripped into coming along, they both blankly stare at his father's grave. His mother soon tells him that she'll be sending him to live with his aunt Barb in Cape Cod. Daniel is unenthusiastic about the idea, but he has little say in the matter. The narrator explains that Cape Cod was just your average American town filled with patriotic sovereignties. He says that a lot has happened this year. America went to war, Freddie Mercury died, and the speaker turned 13. He classified the residents of Cape Cod into two types: the rich summer birds that only visited once a year, and the townies that lived there. Daniel was neither of these. Daniel never really fits into either of the crowd, which becomes evident during a party he attends. His awkward demeanor stands out in the sea of extroverts, which eventually prompts him to leave. A shiny red car interrupts his exit, and is driven by one Hunter Strawberry, a resident bad boy and local narcotics dealer. Hunter Strawberry has been the talk of the town. Despite being somewhat of a local legend, Hunter was nothing but a townie at the end of the day. Outrageous rumors fly around him, and some of them are indistinguishable from fairy tales, but everyone seems to agree that Hunter has killed someone. Hunter frantically rushes into the store where Daniel works on a fateful afternoon. He begs the boy to hide his pot for him, which Daniel agrees to. Seeing a cop pull up at his store, despite Daniel's awkward behavior and the cops' arousing suspicion of Hunter's presence, they both manage to evade the arrest. The two become fast friends, and Hunter introduces Daniel to the world of illegal substances. Hunter starts calling Daniel Danny just because it sounds cooler. Not long after that, he meets Michaela Strawberry, who bursts into his car, demanding that he drives away. She's desperate to escape from a rude date. She is yet another infamous resident of Cape Cod. The narrator describes her as a known heartbreaker. Much like her brother, many rumors surround the mysterious girl. The most notorious one, that her ex-boyfriend hung himself after they broke up. Michaela offers Daniel a smoke, but he rebuffs her by saying that he's got asthma. The rest of the drive goes by awkwardly, and upon arriving at their destination, Michaela hesitates. Daniel tells her a joke to break the ice, but it doesn't land. Michaela admits that it did lighten the mood though. Daniel raves to Hunter about the mysterious girl and his growing infatuation with her the following day. Hunter looks disinterested at first, but upon discovering that she is his sister, tells Daniel to back off. Daniel respects his wish, but shows interest in being a part of Hunter's business. Reluctantly at first, he soon comes around and shows Daniel the ropes. The younger boy quickly proves his worth as Hunter's business partner and eventually earns a name for himself around town. Daniel soon encounters Officer Calhoun, who pulls him over for speeding. Despite it being a minor error, the policeman does his best to intimidate the youth thoroughly. Hunter later describes him as a scary man, a sentiment that Daniel agrees with wholeheartedly. He's badly shaken up by the experience, and no matter how inconsequential, in the heart of the moment, Daniel is struck by the idea of taking over the business. He and Hunter devise a plan to purchase their goods in bulk to avoid sharing the cut with other handlers. Thanks to their connections, they drive town to a shady part of the town, where Daniel attempts to strike a deal with a fellow seller. With his awkward demeanor and lack of social awareness, the conversation quickly escalates from a disastrous to deadly. Threatened by the firearm, Hunter steps in to save Daniel by smashing a bottle on the assailant's head. He then beats him into a bloody pulp using the gun. They both run back to their car and hurriedly drive off, keeping the weapon. A couple days later, Daniel meets Michaela during a trip to the drugstore. The air is thick with sensual tension as Michaela takes a lick off of Daniel's lollipop before popping it back into his mouth. Speechless at first, Daniel then asks her if she'll be going to the fireworks tomorrow. She gives him a vague answer, but the smirk on her face is telling. High off his run in with Michaela, Daniel is soon stopped by a suspicious-looking man with an equally suspicious-looking van. The man orders Daniel to get into the vehicle, which he does after being threatened. After discovering that Daniel is already inside the automobile, the pair is taken to a nondescript diner. The men interrogating them claim to have been watching them for a long time now. The gruff man introduces himself as Dix. He says that both Hunter and Daniel have been making their presence known around town, primarily due to the incident at the crack house. He compliments the pair for their wit, but warns them never to cross him. Dix senses their desire to make it big, so he offers them a deal. He offers them to get 2 pounds of merchandise for them to flip in 2 days. All they have to do is pay Dix back for the original price, and anything over that, boys get to keep. Sensing the opportunity to make big money, Daniel raises the bar to about 5 pounds, which both parties agree and close the deal. Daniel is confident about the situation, while Hunter is less than enthusiastic. Daniel reassures him that he has a plan and not to worry. The goal is to have Daniel's crazy cousin, nicknamed Lucky Jew, sell the merchandise for them. And he did, all 5 pounds of it. Having managed to sell off the merchandise in the allotted time given to them, Dex continues his business venture with Hunter and Daniel. And soon enough, by selling 15 pounds of merchandise every week, the pair are making more money than they can spend, even buying a new sports car to make a transport easier. On the night of the summer carnival, Michaela is on a group date with her friends, and when she is boldly approached by Daniel, they converse for a moment, the air thick with tension, only for him to walk off moments after. But seemingly struck with confidence, Daniel returns and steals a kiss from Michaela. This earns him a punch from a date standing right beside her, but the sparks he felt while his lips brushed against hair is enough to numb the pain from the man's knuckles. The next time they meet at the local drive-in theater, Michaela treats Daniel with hostility, visioning her dismay for kissing her while out on a date. Daniel apologizes, but Michaela knows well enough that it isn't genuine. Having enough for her attitude, he excuses himself to go to the bathroom, only to be followed by Michaela, who surprisingly kisses him. The single action soon sparked a relationship between them, a relationship that quickly blossoms into one of the intense affection and trust. Daniel, however, chooses to hide his relationship with Michaela from Hunter, and knowing about Hunter from Michaela, unwisely trapping himself in a web of lies he built himself. Nevertheless, Daniel promises Michaela nothing but honesty. Anxious about her brother's dubious lifestyle, Michaela is reassured when he vouches for him. Not wanting to be left out, Hunter also has a summer romance with the charming Amy, who he met at a diner. Only starting as a fling, Hunter soon begins to cherish Amy. He says that she and Daniel are the only ones that truly know him, having not judged him based on preconceived notions about his mortality. Mentioning the incident that carnival to Danny, he tells gossips of a summer bird that he had kissed his babysitter. Daniel feigns ignorance. Even when Hunter threatens the man who kissed her, Hunter passes this off as a joke, but he knows better. By the August of that year, things have only gotten better for the pair. With their business blooming, their sales only increased with each passing week, and that wasn't the only thing flourishing in their young lives. Daniel and Michaela's bond only deepened with time. And on one stormy afternoon, they both make love for the first time, ending up being each other's first. Daniel runs into Hunter while out on a date with Michaela in the arcade. Trapped in a hopeless situation, Daniel prepares for the worst as Hunter asks him if he's met Michaela before. Michaela answers for him and says that they haven't. Daniel may have narrowly evaded Hunter's wrath, but will still have to deal with Michaela, who leaves heatedly without him. He chases after her with his car, soon finding her walking alone in the middle of the desolate street. Michaela asks him this time how he met her brother, to which he replies that they just met at a party once and nothing more. Hiding the true extent of their friendship, Michaela then gets into his car and warns him that Hunter will kill him once he finds out about their dating, an inescapable outcome that he is already well aware of. The impending arrival of Hurricane Bob threatens the lives of the residents of Cape Cod, but the other matters take the priority. Officer Calhoun, who Hunter discovers is Amy's father, catches her deep in the night. Sneaking back home, blaming Hunter for his daughter's behavior, he admonishes him in a menacing tone. Despite this, they have a heartfelt talk, dissuading him from further self-destruction, using the boy's father as an example of what will happen if he continues. With his future looming over his head, Hunter rejects a new proposal to sell coke from Daniel's persists. But knowing where it will lead, Hunter dismisses him, telling him not to ask for help when he ends up in trouble. With the two of the friends finding themselves at odds, Hunter takes the first steps in reconciling with his sister. He apologizes for the death of his mother and wants them to be on speaking terms again. Michaela only tells him to stop selling illegal substances, which Hunter reluctantly agrees to, if it means that he gets to have his little sister back. Nevertheless, Michaela still leaves home. On the other hand, Daniel is soon cornered by Hunter, who asks about his relationship with his sister. Not one willing to admit readily, Daniel keeps the lie going. Daniel pursues his plan to sell harder illegal substances and soon meets up with a dangerous man, Sheep. They both strike up a deal, but Sheep leaves Daniel with a warning. If Dex finds out what he's double-crossing with other dealers, nothing good can come out of it. It just so happens that the man with eyes everywhere, Dex, catches wind of Daniel's plan. He gives Daniel a call, telling him that he knows, giving Daniel ample time to hastily pack a bag and leave home. Unfortunately for him, the hurricane made landfall that very same afternoon. Left with no choice, Daniel runs to the shelter, to the nearest one being their hideout. Hunter intercepts him, aiming a gun at him with no hesitation. He does, however, hesitate at pulling the trigger. Hunter asks Daniel to just leave. Daniel attempts to plead with him, wanting to see Michaela one last time, but Hunter ignores his request and beckons him to leave, which Daniel agrees to do. Hunter is caught in a lie by a very pissed off Dex, who demands to know whether or not he shot his best friend. Sensing his dishonesty, Dex pulls the trigger off of his gun, ending the infamous tale of Hunter Strawberry with a single bullet. Daniel speeds across the highway, making his escape from the scene, only to be stopped by an oncoming car. Dazed from the wreck, he reminisces of the better days. Thoughts of his mother provide the strength to carry on, and he rushes to Michaela's home, only to find the house empty. It just so happens that Michaela left only moments ago. Not wanting to leave things off with brother on a sour note, she searches for him only to discover his lifeless body. The narrator then explains the extent of the damage caused by the hurricane. Hunter's body was soon found, the narrator emphasizing that he died young and pretty. Only 4 people attended Hunter's funeral, 2 of them being Calhoun and Amy. Daniel is never seen again, leaving a trail of glory behind and a list of rumors. The narrator then recalls the time he, during the storm, looked out of the window to see a drenched Michaela. He doesn't understand the circumstances surrounding her, only knowing that he is the last person in town to ever see her alive. Nevertheless, the narrator still hopes for her happiness and wonders where she is now. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.